Hey there, welcome to Red State Update. My name's Jackie Bros.
Folks, people, it's Dunlap the man, the dirty. How are you doing? We're glad that you found us again. Once again, fate or the Lord or the Apple Podcast has led you to us, and we appreciate you being here. And we're going to do something we haven't done in a while. We ain't done no sponsors in a long time. The world could be ending in 2 or 3 weeks, and we figured you might want to hear about some of the goings on here in Murfreesboro. And honestly, we need the $50.
Well, yeah, that's a big part of it. But Lord knows we got a lot to talk about. You mentioned the world ending. We'll get to that. But yeah, let's just get our sponsors right out the way up here.
Get them out of the way.
Yeah, just get out of the way. I know a lot of listeners. You just want to hear the politics. I get it.
Sure.
You said, why are you wasting the time with these sponsors? On and on. I understand. I give stuff to you through Patreon. Why do you need a sponsor? We get that all the time, don't we? They're mad as hell. But listen, we need that extra little oomph to get us through. And again, I like to talk about the local goings on here in Murfreesboro as much as I can while we're allowed to. So,
it's just it helps us clear our heads. And I know y'all may be thinking, it's been a long time since I've heard 2 white men yell about things. Well, it's coming. Just let us get through the sponsors. Let us get through the sponsors.
Just bear with us. Bear with us. That's all we ask. We'll get these out of the way. Let's go ahead. I'm going to go first. I got a good sponsor this week. I tell you what. Well, you know, Dunlap, I've been a member of Gravy Lovers for years and years now. And
that's true.
Yeah, well, yeah, but if
you got the card, you got the pendant, you got the ring.
Yep. The little booklet, all of it. And of course, nowadays it's different. We don't get together. We don't commiserate with the pandemic and all. But we got the computer hooked up where you hit the Zoom button.
Oh.
And all of us are there. We're all eating gravy. We're talking about the gravies that we love. I'm having some brown gravy on my giblets. Oh, yeah, I'm having some good, delicious white sausage gravy on my biscuit. Just every kind of gravy you can imagine.
All the kinds of different gravies.
Love every one of them, too.
Horse gravy?
Oh, Lord knows I love horse gravy. That was the best of both worlds when we had that. That you can't get that no more.
What happened to horse gravy?
I have no idea. I wish somebody right now I know there are people making millions of dollars on a computer due to the pandemic. Billionaires getting richer and richer, selling things. They bring it to your house, drop it off. Horse gravy, if you're listening, if you were to bring that back right now, I know, and I would tell every single local charter member of Gravy Lovers here in Middle Tennessee about it, and I guarantee you, even the ones that never had you or tasted it before, never had you in the mouth, they'd all be purchasing, depending on what size. It used to be just one size was all. It's like, I wish it was a little bigger, wish it was a little smaller, but horse gravy always come in a thing that's just the right size, I thought, personally. And, of course, you had both white and brown gravy in it together, never mixed, yeah.
Somehow it stayed separate. We never figured that out.
I don't know how. That's a special chemical or whatever it was. It did. Either way.
Delicious chemical.
Absolutely. Delicious.
Come back, horse gravy. Jackie. I'm just so glad that you're doing Zoom horse gravy. Gravy Lovers. That's Gravy Lovers, everybody. Thanks for tuning into our podcast. And I'm glad things are going so well for you, Jackie. I'm glad you all get together.
Well,
I'm do it on this week.
No, I'm not. I'm doing a sponsor. I'm doing Gravy Lovers.
Oh, what else is there to say about Gravy Lovers? It's a club where a bunch of old men get together, some gravy, talk about it. I'm glad y'all figured out Zoom.
Normally that'd be the case, just what you said there. But unfortunately, we at Gravy Lovers, at least the charter here in Middle Tennessee, local charter here.
Is that nationwide? How far out does Gravy Lovers go?
There's some Gravy Lovers I know somewhere up northeast.
Uh-huh.
And there's some in the Midwest. I don't think all the way out to California, but somewhere in the Midwest, there's a couple of different groups in those locations, in those vicinities. And we've reached out. We know that they're there. They have yet to reach back. Against a pandemic right now, I don't expect, that everybody stop what they're doing.
Wow.
But
they
no,
do not want to talk to you.
Well, the reason I'm wondering is because of this cease and desist order I got from Fancy Feast.
Fancy buffet downtown?
No, the cat food Fancy Feast.
Oh.
It's from Fancy Feast, and the lawyer, his name is Flintville Deed, signed Flintville Deed. He represents Fancy Feast, and supposedly they have trademarked Gravy Lovers. They say we can't use that, even though we ain't out there making money hand over fist. We're certainly not. We all pay our dues, but we don't. It ain't like we're sitting on a mountain of money because of the damn name.
How much are the dues at Gravy Lovers these days?
Well, it's cheaper than $25 to be a sponsor. I'll say that much. I'm the one to give $25. Like you said, I just want people to be aware of Gravy Lovers, and
we were trying to make money.
Well, I think I just wanted to give $25 to bring this to everyone's attention to what's going on here, and the people trying to shut you down, shut you up. Fancy Feast say they trademark the term Gravy Lovers, and it's written on the little can of cat food that they got. Now, tell me this right now. How come you gonna say cats love gravy more than people do? I guarantee you, I love that gravy as much as any cat. I don't care what kind it is, what kind of can you put it on, whatever it is. Now, I ain't saying a cat don't love gravy. Sure it does. Absolutely, a cat loves, some gravy. But everybody does, a point being, we're all gravy lovers. I don't know why we can't all be gravy lovers together, man and beast. But evidently, because of this cease and desist thing, Flintville Deed says we can no longer use the term Gravy Lovers. Well, tell you what, I'm saying it right now, Flintville Deed, if you listen to this, you ain't ever going to get me to say I don't love gravy and I'm not a member of Gravy Lovers, because Lord knows I am. And I tell you what, we're not sitting idly by letting them do this. Now, he ain't a Nashville lawyer. He's from Smyrna. But it's halfway there, And we talked to him on the computer a few times. We ain't meeting in person. He still charge you for that, for a certain amount of money, so we try to keep it, quick.
Sure.
But Lynchburg Grousedown is currently defending Gravy Lovers. I think they just have court on the computer too now, don't they? From what I hear,
it's all on the computer now.
Everything's on the computer now. You just,
Wait, Lynchburg Grousedown is from Smyrna?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if he's from Smyrna. That's where
Oh, maybe originally he's from Lynchburg.
He could be. I didn't ask him where he's from originally. He got his practice, the firm or whatever you want to call it, is in Smyrna. I guess I didn't think about that way. That is a little confusing, Lynchburg Grousedown. But no,
is Flintville Deed from Flintville, Tennessee?
I don't know where the hell he's from. All I know about him is he telling me a cat gets to love gravy more than me and all my gravy-loving friends. And I'm sorry, this is America. And I know America's broken right now, and Lord knows we need to do a lot to fix it. But it starts here with me for right now. I'm going to, you brought this into my house and several other gravy-eating, love-eating, people's house. Because, we get on the computer and I'll talk about it from at home. We don't get together like we used to.
Sure.
We used to go to places. We kind of stopped doing that. Thank goodness for a computer takes everything. Because we used to go to, Cracker Barrel or wherever to have our little meetings. But then, of course, some people didn't want to eat the gravy there at Cracker Barrel. And they bring their own gravy with him. And, of course, that started a bunch of trouble. That started issue. People bring a pot full of, the different kind of gravies. I ain't saying the Cracker Barrel gravy ain't good. It is. The brown, white, all of it's good. But, when you get together, Gravy Lovers, the point is to be, Diversity.
So I remember that's when you first employed Lynchburg Grouse Down because you got into some legal trouble with the Cracker Barrel Corporation, if I remember correctly.
Yes, that's true. But, how that turned out, he did a good job because some of the people were putting medicine in their gravy, and they said at 2 o'clock, if I'm here at Cracker Barrel, this how I take my medicine. You know how children give them a little sugar or something, they have the medicine go down. I don't know if that's true, but that's what it said.
Uh-huh.
So I have to have gravy in order to take this, and, so be it. You ain't going to tell me I can't do it Cracker Barrel anywhere else for that matter. But that's gravy lovers. Like I said, now there's no better time to join up, get your membership. I don't know if they're raising the dues at the moment. I'll get into that later. If anybody wants to hear about that, just ask us on a Pads On page or whatever it is, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Because right now they may have to raise the dues in order to pay for Mr. Grouse Down, Lawyer Lynchburg Grouse Down. But if you love gravy and
hate cats, apparently.
No, I said the cat. This ain't about hate cats. See, that's exactly what that clever lawyer going to try to do, just what you did. And no, sir, this ain't. Lord knows I love a cat. Lord knows I love gravy. And me and the cat can love gravy the same amount. I don't think anybody should be entitled to be a gravy lover. Like I said, whether you get on 4 feet or 2 feet or however many feet, octopus feet. I don't know if octopus eat gravy, but still, you get the point. Everybody loves gravy.
Consider, salt water is what? Water and salt? That's sort of a gravy.
Well, you need more than salt than just, you need something. You need some thickness. You got to add something in there.
It ain't a good gravy.
No.
Probably just add whatever coming off that octopus.
I didn't mean it. I was just saying most everything like gravy. I know some people have health conditions, whatever. They can't eat as much gravy as they'd like to. Follow your doctor's orders. I ain't getting in between that, but I'm just saying.
Since this pandemic, I've been eating, 30-40% gravy. I wish I'd known about this. I forgot about gravy lovers. I'll be honest, I always thought it was something for old people.
Well, most of the members are up there in age or whatnot, but it don't mean it don't age. I don't think there's any limit either to loving gravy. I think all ages can love gravy the same. I think just people up in age have more time to talk about how much they love it. I think young people got whole life. I love gravy, but I got to play this video Nintendo thing or whatever it is.
Yeah, cat's in the cradle.
Cats? No, the cat.
Oh, the cat is suing you.
I don't think it's a cat suing me. It's the damn Fancy Feast. Whoever makes the cat food is telling us.
Why would Fancy Feast go after a social club of old men drinking gravy and not the Fancy Feast buffet in downtown Murfreesboro? Seems like that would be. Who's
to say that Fancy Feast downtown ain't got a letter? I don't know that. I don't know any of them down there.
They could
have got a letter. They ain't open on, they shut them down. Now they can only open up for 5 days a week. Used to be 7. Then the pandemic started. They can only stay open, 5 days a week. So I don't know if they got time to look at it. Because always something. I don't care, pandemic, anything going on. Somebody going to be down at Fancy Feast shoveling food on a plate. That's what makes the world go round right there.
So that's Fancy Feast buffet.
No, it ain't damn. It's gravy lovers. You know damn well what it is.
We don't know if they're open or not. But, Jackie, I got a sponsor. Speaking of coronavirus, and I hope everybody out there is doing well. I know there's a lot of terrible things happening right now. And I don't like to assign blame, but it's Trump's fault.
Yep.
And we, as a nation, turned to television for comfort in the early days and all the days following the pandemic and all the days before, honestly, and probably for a lot of the days after until the world ends. And you, Jackie, I don't know about you, but when you're watching something, what TV shows you been watching lately? Bonanza?
When I can find it on, that's one of them to go through the cable thing. I can't get the thing to remember which one it is. So I just go through it hours and hours to see if I can find it on somewhere.
I ain't seen Bonanza in a long time. It really could just be roommates, right? I mean, I know they're father and sons, but they're all just kind of like approximately the same age. Yeah. I mean, if you look at something, those kind of hour-long 60 shows that all look kind of colored the same, all the scenery and the white people, and everybody's kind of husky. Everybody's somewhere between 30 and 50, but they're fathers and sons.
What's your point?
I don't have a point. I just seem like roommates. I mean, I don't know why they had to make father and sons. It could have just been like 4 cowboys lived together.
Just a family. Sure, they could have lived together. You know, people would have said something about that one way or another, probably. It's just safer to say at the time. I ain't saying nowadays. They should have said in the thing. I'm just saying.
But how much older is Lauren Green than Hoss?
He ain't that much older. He got the white hair.
If you want to, this is the type of conversation we have on our Patreon. Would you go over to patreon.com/Red State Update and join up for $5 a month? You get a whole extra podcast where we talk about things like Bonanza.
Mostly to old TV shows a lot of the time, yeah. Or people who are on old TV shows, yeah.
I need to make a note to edit this section out of this podcast. I'm just kidding. We ain't going to do that. So, Jackie, the Coley's Christian Cinemas, you remember them. Coley's are good friends at Coley's.
Oh, yeah.
They have this technology. We've talked about it on here before. They've been sponsors of ours.
Where they're not just in the movie business. They do that. There's a Coley's Theater that, I don't know. It's opening now. It used to be open every day of the week. They can only open up 6 days a week now here in Murfreesboro due to the pandemic. But they also, remember, delicious Christian snack food, makers of that. All sorts of, pretzels, little eater snacks, anything you like, you got that. And, of course, you get a Bible page in every bag. So you do a little praising, do a little learning, do a little eating.
They got a finger in a lot of different parts. And one of the things about staying open 6 days is it doesn't sound like it's that much, but for some reason, like the sick people are going to give it to you have been showing up on the 7th day.
Wow.
I mean, they're not doing contact tracing or anything, but people show up like, oh shit, are they closed? And I've heard people say, and they just didn't look good. So they think that maybe that 6 days open is really doing.
It's helping. Well, good.
It's really helping. Good. It's really helping. You'd think, well, no, that just sounds like a bunch of bullshit. Might as well do nothing if you're going to do that. But it sounds like for some reason, the sick spreaders are just drawn to the day they're closed. They just have their schedules, probably because they're confused because they're sick or something, and they're trying to I got to get a wrong day.
Yeah. Well, you lose your sense of taste and hearing, and what else?
You'd think maybe we should shut the whole thing down, but the 6 days seems to be. Of course, I mean, it's just coming from the people who want it to be open all the time, so maybe they're not right. It's hard to know who to trust. Not really. I have a pretty good idea. So Coley's has this technology, cutting edge of technology. And some people say, well, Christians don't know how to do nothing. Well, that ain't true no more. They know how to do it all. They know how to do it all. Christians on the phone. They got the Chick-fil-A app. They can remove any scenes of anything that's naughty, dirty, unchristian, too worldly. And they got settings too. They can cut a movie down if you're just like, I just don't like to watch fucking with my kids.
Hey.
Okay. We get out. So that's like
I don't want to hear it either. I don't want to look at it or hear it out your mouth.
That's like, I don't know, Presbyterian setting. All the way up to Pentecostal. Just nothing. Just make it seem like Batman's in church for the whole thing.
It wouldn't do him bad. It'd be good to go in church. Batman go every now and then. It wouldn't hurt him none.
I don't say this about a lot of people. Batman probably use a little church.
Yeah, he could. Yeah. just to help with him, his situation. He's upset all the time, mad.
Are you ready to accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior? Yes, I am. So Batman in church is only one use of the technology Coley's has. I don't know about you, Jackie, but if you've been watching these Bonanza shows where those four strange men share a Ponderosa together, you probably noticed a lot of pre-pandemic things that really bother you now. People touching each other, people sharing food, crowd scenes, coughing. You watch these in any movie from Bonanza to Tenet, and you're like, shit, coronavirus. It just takes you right out of it.
It does. It reminds you what you're supposed to be doing. I tried, there's a lot of movies you see or TV shows, whatever it is, like, don't do it. And you realize, that's beforehand. Bonanza happened a long time before.
Let me have a bite of that. Give me a bite of that.
Yeah.
Now hold it up to my mouth.
What, they take all that out?
They will remove scenes from movies or television shows of touching, sharing food, crowd scenes, touching somebody else's food, coughing, and not washing your hands.
Coughing?
Yeah.
I see the point, but a certain movie, hell, Clint Eastwood, Honky Tonk Man, that movie, you take all the coughing out of that's going to last, what, 15 minutes or something? He got tuberculosis, so they always ain't seen it. He tried to go to Nashville and, play Grand Ole Opry before he coughs himself to death. That's what happened in that. That movie going to be short.
Hold on, let me... Yeah, Honky Tonk, I just looked it up. Honky Tonk Man is 15 minutes and 33 seconds.
Well,
once it gets through the Coley's Coronavision. So it removes scenes, touching, sharing food, crowd scenes, people touching food that's not their own, coughing, and not washing your hands. And that means not washing your hands doesn't just mean like, if they pass a sink and they don't wash their hands, they cut out them passing the sink. Or they use computer animation technology to make them wash their hands, but that's sort of it's faster just to cut out the sink.
Well, that makes sense. What movies are there with somebody touching somebody else's food that ain't theirs? That don't make I don't recall none of that.
They just said they just wanted to cover all their bases.
Now, if it come a hamburger, steal a hamburger, touch it, it ain't his.
But it covers waiters.
Okay. I'd make sense.
Yeah.
Bringing the can they use a computer to put a mask on everybody in the movie?
Yeah, but people don't like that because that also reminds them of what's going on right now.
That's true. Yeah, you're right about that.
People looking for escape.
Yeah,
like when they got like Lady and the Tramp sharing that noodle, they tried putting a mask on Lady, and then people said no, and then they tried putting a mask on Tramp. People said no, I don't like that either. So I said, what if we just cut the noodle out? And they're like, that's it.
Well, then they're just kissing without eating, which I think that's just as sweet. But no, it's
well,
kissing.
They cut that out too.
Okay. Well, what about when they rolls the meatball over the lady with his nose?
The whole scene's gone. Gone.
Well, you could have changed with the computer, turned the meatball into something else. He'd give her roll over to it. The dog can roll anything over with his nose if you train him right.
Well, they're not done with it. They rushed this out, and they said, you know what? We're a bunch of perfectionists here at Coley's, and we're always tweaking it, and we're always working on it. And so if we hear from people like, well, you shouldn't have cut out the whole thing, we're like, well, kissing is touching. Yeah. And we say touching, sharing food, crowd scenes, all that. So, but they realize that some things people do want to see. So they're probably going to put masks on the Italians that work there and going to turn the meatball into a Bible.
Okay, that makes sense. To read a little Bible for your Bible don't roll. But, meatball around is the dog. A dog can push it, I guess. Don't matter if it rolls.
You know what else doesn't happen? Dogs don't go on dates.
I know that. I know it's a cartoon dog, but they're still role models to little children. So I see what they're doing. That makes sense.
So I went to them and said, okay, this is great. I watched this 7-minute long Lady and the Tramp, but I'm curious.
7 minutes? What else did they cut out? It ain't like they're eating spaghetti through the whole damn movie.
You'd be surprised. Well, dogs get petted.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot of sinks in the background of that movie too. So they're just like, nope, got to go. They're working on coming out with a 12-minute version. So just hang tight. If that sounds too extreme,
when they put that muzzle on Tramp, that could remind you of wearing a mask, I guess, isn't it?
Damn, you want a job?
Huh?
They're hiring.
I just like old cartoon movies. I've seen them more than a few times, the old Mickey Mouse ones.
So I said, okay, these are great that you can cut everything out of Lady and the Tramp. But I've been having a problem when I try to watch some good old-fashioned American pornography. And so,
all right, enough.
Take out, make it so that maybe they're not strangers or somebody they met showing a rental property, but they're more like, oh, we've been bubbling together. Just kind of like lay that dialogue over the beginning of it. And they said, no, we can't do that because we're still doing the Christian stuff too. So that's the other thing with Lady and the Tramp is you don't just take out all the sick stuff. You also take out all the non-Christian stuff too.
Well,
same thing
I don't want to hear about the filthy stuff you talking about, but a Lady and Tramp, I kind of want to see that now. Because there's a lot of things I don't understand about that. The old hound dog in it. Remember, they all worried about it because he lost his sense of smell. That's what they say. Oh, don't mind him. He lost his mind. He can't smell no more. And now, on and on. If that don't remind you of coronavirus, I don't know what does.
I'm gonna put you in touch with them over at Coley's.
But if they won't talk about Lady and the Tramp, I can do that. It's cartoon and dogs. So
It's Tom or Coley is the one heading this department, and he's got a bunch of folks from the college down there that know computers, but I don't think enough of them know Lady and the Tramp like you do. So I think I'm gonna text him right now.
Well, I just saying what come to mind. It ain't like I'm trying to tell them how to do the job. If they cut anything out of it, they might as well cut out them racist cats too.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, they left those in. Shit.
Yeah.
They ran that part twice.
If you're going to change it, I know it ain't got nothing to do with coronavirus, but racism in and of itself is probably should, just cut it out, I guess.
You know what? I don't think you're going to be a good fit for Coley's.
Ah.
Hey, look at there. You see him? Well, open your damn eyes in. It's the old-timey country down-home red state update podcast and them. Coming to you from a bunker underneath Jackie's Market in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And here they are, both of them.
Hey, my name's Jackie Bros, and welcome to Red State Update.
Folks, people, it's Dunlap. I am your newest best friend. You know how people have friends that change over time. And now Curly's my best friend. Now Shimp's my best friend.
Three Stooges.
Oh, Stooge, yeah. Or which Stooge you like the best. Whatever. I don't really have friends. Just Stooges I like. And folks, it has been another great week to be an American. If you enjoy watching the fall of democracy and the Republicans shit on the Constitution, just stand around laughing at it all. Did you see Mitch McConnell laughing?
Just laughing and laughing. That's funny. I'm too busy. I need a vacation. These people, somebody eventually get them some sort of help, I reckon.
That was terrifying, just the way he looked.
He looks bad all the time, but you add a laugh to it like that, good Lord. That's the only part I didn't watch anymore of that debate. I can't bring myself to watch any of these debates anymore. They say you're supposed to because, we get on here and talk about it, but I ain't going to, I know it's what everybody likes right here is a political part, but good Lord, I mean, if you enjoy it, listen to us and you like our personalities, do you really want me to have to sit through NBC Trump? I wouldn't wish that on you. And I'm sure you're saying, no, I rely on you to tell me about it. I ain't going to watch that. But hell.
You need to rely on somebody else, sound like. I'll be honest. I think it's good for us to be honest. They say you're supposed to be vulnerable in your podcasting. And just let folks know, I did not watch a lot of the news this week.
No.
Amy Coney Barrett, I'm like, this is a done deal. I don't.
Well, why am I going to waste my time? Well, they got her good. They got to quit. What? That's just going to make me that much more mad when McConnell puts it on. I mean, that's done. I don't see even the point of having. I understand. You got to, but from what I hear, she ain't going to answer no question, no how. You'll find out when I judge on it. I mean, basically, is that what she's saying the whole time? As far as Obamacare, abortion, whatever, Roe v. Wade, all of it. Well, I ain't going to talk about. You think I'm going to talk about that right here? No. I talk about it after I get the, Supreme Court. Kind of like Joe Biden running right now. You gonna stack that court? I ain't gonna talk about that right now.
It's the same thing. If you talk about the Supreme Court, you can't talk about it right now.
Yeah, you got to wait. I'll talk about it later. As soon as the election's over, I'll talk about it. As soon as I'm sitting up there in November, hearing arguments over Obamacare, you're going to find out soon enough. Don't you worry none.
Why are we going through this? We know the answer. So tell us. Well, I can't tell you. I'll tell you later when I'm in the robe. Well, can you tell us? No, I can't tell you. Well, of course, if he says, no, I won't stack a court, then Trump will say, he just lost the Bernie. But who gives a shit what Trump says? I just feel like we're at a point now where it's like, who gives a shit what Trump says? So, no, I didn't watch Coney Barrett, and I also did not watch Trump on NBC.
Who cares what any of them say, let alone him, any of Republicans right now? I don't give a damn what any of them say. Even you, Senator Sass.
You won't get mad at him. That's true bringing the country together. That's true unity. That's some Biden-esque co-piloting right into up his ass. People hate him. Now, it's great.
Yeah. Now you're going to say it. Oh, yeah. Maybe you could have said that 4 damn years ago. How much of it did you need to endure before you decided to say it? Evidently, 4 years worth.
3 weeks before the election with polls plummeting.
Yep.
That was his cutoff.
And Mitt Romney, too. That's another one I don't want to hear from. I'm trying to bring us together because both sides are so awful, terrible. Charlottesville, him. All of it is bad. Just me, Mitt Romney. I'm the only one that can say it. And let's come together. Hell. Occasionally you can be fooled in. I'll give him this much, Mitt Romney. Occasionally he can fool you into thinking there's a slight bit of integrity left in the man. But it don't take long for him to remind you of what a cowardly, miserable butthole he is.
Wow. Called Mitt Romney a butthole.
Well, that's what he is.
That whole, both sides are real bad, but you're on one of the sides, Romney. You're still on the side that voted for Trump, that has coddled him. Occasionally, maybe you coddle him. Would you even say that Romney coddles him the least? No, I mean, there's some Republicans, I think, that working up for the Lincoln Project. I don't know if all of them, I guess they're all no longer Republicans. But I would say Romney is one of the least coddly Republicans. But that's still a lot of coddling. That's a fuck ton of coddling.
Hey, watch your mouth.
That's so much coddling. And he's like, well, both sides are bad, but you still on one of those sides. That's the thing is people want to believe that they still two sides, but there's just a crazy person. There are two sides. That's a sad thing. That's why as soon as he got in, all this normalizing happened. We said, don't normalize the president, but he was made the president. And then the entire Republican Party fell in line behind him. And then you've got in a country where there's two sides, Republican, Democrat, you got two sides again, but one of them is led by a crazy person, fascist who loves the racists. And then there's the other side. Some people are having trouble choosing between those two sides because they remember a time when people said, all politicians are bad. Both sides are bad. Romney's still trying to churn up nostalgia for that both sides. Biden does some nostalgia for that both sides. We got to come together. Biden says we got to come together, everyone, to fix the problems made by this other side, even my friends, the Republicans. And Romney's just like, both sides are bad, but maybe I can get a job with one of them someday. So there's no two sides anymore. I mean, there's two sides, but one's real mean, and the other's, I don't know. If you didn't like them back then, you may not like them now, but you got to recognize that the other side is like 40 times as bad. Remember, look, Jackie, we used to say all politicians were buttholes.
I'm still in the situation where I want to say terrible things about, Elizabeth Warren, Buttigieg, not terrible things, but I want to make light of them occasionally. Certainly Biden, but I ain't got time for it.
Ain't got time.
No, I'm wasting my energy doing that when we all know what the situation is. I'm wasting my energy worried about whether Biden's son, Hunter, he got him that job in Ukraine and got him a cushy job. Why am I going to spend time? I'll deal with that if he gets in the damn office. Maybe I'll ask him about it, but concerned about it. But right now, I ain't. And look, all of you Republicans, I have to say, I know it's saying you're a butthole, and you are. You know who you are, Romney, certainly. But I do appreciate it when you step up and say, he ought not, coddle up with white supremacists. He ought not say that QAnon stuff is legitimate. He shouldn't do that. Yes, by all means say that. But maybe every now and then you could say, also he's responsible for hundreds of thousands of dead people in America. Maybe you could just touch on that occasionally. I ain't saying the white supremacy isn't important. Absolutely. You should call him out on it. We should do it. We do it every time on here. But you know what else we do? We also remind people that he's responsible for what he's done to the economy, what he's done to people's lives. Just work that in a little bit. What is it? Collins, he could have handled that better. Yeah, listen to Sass. As late as it is, I guess I'll take it. Well, Sass didn't leave no stone unturned in his little phone call, did he?
Listen, it's better Sass than Feinstein hugging Lindsey Graham's neck.
Oh, everybody mad about that. You get to a certain age, that's what you know. You like to get hugs, give hugs. Now, granted, in pandemic time, that you're rolling a dice there.
Plus, that's Biden's problem.
Yeah.
Hugs. Maybe you're right. Old people just do like hugs. They never know when they're going to feel the embrace of another human being again. This could be it. I guess the last person I hugged was Lindsey Graham. That's what what Di-Fi thought.
Now, listen, she could have. There are plenty of other people standing around she could have hugged. Trust me now. That I don't get.
Yeah, but I mean, there's no real winners in that bunch. Are they friends? Like, I didn't look into this. It just now hit me. Do they have like some sort of crazy friendship that we didn't know about? Do they text each other?
That's what makes me mad because, I don't know about them two in particular. But yes, a lot of them are friends. It's like, what is it on the cartoon where the dog and the wolf and the sheep, whatever, they clock into work?
The beans, Bush's beans.
Oh, that dog? Yeah, that one too, yeah. You were good on Fox last night. Yeah, I was. Did you see me on MSNBC? No, I don't watch that. Well, yeah, I was good.
People talk about Pete Buttigieg going on Fox. He is pretty good on there.
You don't need another. He's the one. If you need a liberal or Democrat to go on Fox News, just let him do that. That should be we as a party, or not we per se. I still think of self as independent, but the Democrat, you need to just pay him to do that.
Why are you still? What are you going to do? What party are you going to join?
Listen,
the Republicans after this? The Greens?
All the Lakin Project. I'm a Lakin Project party. I like a commercial they make. How about that?
Did they make the Bush's talking dog one too?
It's good either way. I'd classify both of those campaign ads as successful.
I wouldn't put it past them. It's that good. We're going to regret giving them all this power. It's going to come back to haunt us.
Oh, yeah, you wait and see. Yeah, as soon as Biden gets in there, Laker Project turn around. How much people are giving them money? Democrats giving them money, lots and lots. That'll stop. They still ain't getting as much money. How much did Biden make? 100 and damn, what is it? 135 million, like broke every kind of fundraising record ever was.
Can you imagine? Okay, there's a lot to imagine. Can you imagine if Obama had done half the things Trump has done? Can you imagine if Hillary had done half the things Trump had done? But go back to 2008 and just imagine somebody telling you that Joe Biden was A, still alive, B, breaking fundraising records. 2008, go back to 2007 when they're all on that debate stage. We're like, Jesus Christ, this guy. And then be like, yeah, well, I'd wait till 2020. Listen, I don't know if it's fear of catching coronavirus, which is good, which is what you should have. That proves he's smart and old. But he recognizes the role he's supposed to play. I don't know if he used to do that. I don't think if he used to have the self-awareness. I tell you what, I'm going to be in church before this is all over. You praise Jesus that Biden got self-awareness. Who would have thought that was happening? Now, he knows he's got to be less of himself and more of this hypothetical president that people are craving right now. And somehow, maybe it's because he does talk a lot more than like conservatives say he talks, but he ain't overdoing it.
I'm surprised. I'm agreeing with you. Now, we were expecting more of a doo-doo show from Biden when we heard he got the nomination, kind of like, well, all right, and let's see how this goes. He ain't told no weird stories. He's had his moments. He's definitely, you ain't black unless you vote, certainly, but not nearly as many as I was expecting.
No, his doo-doo moments are a lot less than I would have expected. Now, is that because we're in some sort of left-wing bubble, Jackie?
Well, the bar is so damn low compared to the other side. I understand Biden getting away with all sorts of stuff. But no, genuinely, it's usually the left that starts hollering and mad at Biden when it does something like that. You hear, Republicans will jump on board with that, but it's usually equal both sides most of the time. But he ain't give Democrats opportunity. Not near as much as he used to. I'll give him that. I don't know what's going on.
I guess we're looking at Biden through some Biden-colored glasses. But listen, we can't handle it. We can't. All these tweets about people's blood pressure going down when they watch Biden and going up when they look at Trump. Somebody, I'll turn on TV, see you, have your blood pressure be normal when you see the president. That'd be good. Have it go down, common. And I will say that, I ain't been to a doctor. I don't want them putting that thing on my arm. Who knows who's that touched? But my blood pressure can't be good. Mostly because of my diet and lack of exercise.
Yeah. But other than that, you don't want to make it worse for yourself. Hence the reason we didn't watch none of this week. Didn't see no point. There's no point in looking at the president anymore. I don't see why anybody does it. I understand that the 30% of people who are racist or dumb as hell or both. I understand that they like to go see the show. It's worth getting sick and dying and taking out a doctor or nurse or two with you. I get it. You like that show. But I've seen the show. I know what it is. I've seen it for 4 years now. I never watched the show before I became president, but good Lord, I ain't had no choice but to look at it. I know what he's going to say and do. What the hell am I going to turn that on for? I know they're going to confirm Barrett. Why am I going to sit there? Oh, they got her good. Now she'll never be. Said, okay, what does that matter? Stay informed. I ain't saying turn the TV off, but you can read it elsewhere. I ain't going to sit there and put myself through that hell.
Well, he just had a crazy week where the president went into the hospital because he had coronavirus, because he's been denying that coronavirus was bad. And then we're like, oh, is he dead? He's dead, right? Is he dead? And then he come out of the hospital and has been saying coronavirus was even less a big deal than he thought, that he's got it. And going to all his events and his big super spreader things. It was a crazy week is what I'm saying. And now this week happened with all this other news, and it somehow feels like it's over. Now, I ain't saying get complacent. I ain't saying don't vote. I ain't saying nothing, but it does feel like we're at least in a lull.
We don't really know what's going on because fortunately, in my lifetime, we've never been in this situation. Over 20 million Americans have voted early. Same time this was last year, about 6 million people voted early. Now, what does that mean? Hell, I don't know. These long lines, I know what that means. Some Republican is making it difficult for you to vote. Our good buddy, Michael Steele, remember him? We had a bear with him a while back.
Oh,
That's a good Republican. Good Steele. There's a few good ones left, and he's a good Republican. Nice man. I like Mr. Steele. But he said, all of you waiting in line out there, don't forget the politicians, the people who made the decision that it was important for you to wait in that line for 10, 11 hours, however long it was. Don't forget why you standing there.
Yeah, there's a lot of important stuff that did happen this week, and you can't tune out from stuff like these long-ass lines where voting started. That's people keeping you from voting. It should be so much easier to vote. People, Republicans keeping you from voting. Why are Republicans so intent on keeping you from voting? Well, I guess if they think if more people vote, they got less of a shot at it. That, to me, that just means work on your message. To me, that means we gotta turn inward. We gotta figure some stuff out. We have to.
We just need to get rid of all the. We could do that. What do you say, fellas? We really take a, magnifying glass to our message and what we do, or I ride around town, pull up all the drop boxes. Hell,
you got a truck?
Anything
you got a truck? Let's do that one. Mine's in the shop.
Anything better than looking inward, especially when all you see is racism.
Yeah. When Republicans when Republicans look inward, they see the inward waiting to come out of their mouths. Little wordplay there about how terribly racist our country is. So we didn't watch the Trump town hall, which he scammed his way into. How are people still letting themselves be scammed by the president? From people going to vote for him to a major television network. Let him scam his way in. He said he would not do another debate with Biden. I don't know what he's got in store for the Nashville debate.
Oh, Lord.
Next week. Whatever he's got planned, it's not going to be fun to watch. But he said he wouldn't do a Zoom debate with Biden. Pulled out of the debate. Said, no way. Come out. They did have some problems with the moderator. Oh, man. Anytime anybody in the media does something and gets caught by Republicans, like that's all you're going to hear people talk about. It's the C-SPAN guy. He was from C-SPAN, right?
Yeah, and hell with him. Yeah.
But Also, who cares?
I don't give a damn. That's the least of my concerns.
I'm not going to get mad at the C-SPAN guy when in however long it took him to say his account got hacked, like Trump did, like 700 constitution shitting things, corrupt things, illegal things, cover up things, kids hands in the cookie jar things, racist things, encouraging racist things, encouraging violence things, tearing down election sanctity, tearing down democracy, egotistical, just embarrassing, crazy ass things he did while this C-SPAN guy was like, oh shit, I shouldn't have been talking to Scaramucci. I do question the judgment of anyone who talks to Scaramucci.
Certainly, yeah.
So the worst thing that may have happened here was just talking to Scaramucci. Again, whose fault is all this? Was this C-SPAN guy like corrupt or doing something terrible? We're all in these crazy positions because of the president. You can't go to the movies. They can't put out fucking Black Widow because of the president. Everything, the cornerstones. We can't go to a restaurant because of the president. Or you can go to a restaurant and you're going to get infected and the restaurant's still losing money. He's ruined everything. I don't even think we've gotten 200,000 people dead, 220,000 people dead. I don't even know what the numbers are. He doesn't give a shit about coronavirus or who he's killed. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, not even counting all the other parts of the country that he's ruined. What was I talking about?
Today, we passed a new milestone. 8 million Americans got the coronavirus.
They're crazy. That's what they want. They want everybody to get it, to see how many die, and then the ones that left, like, well, I guess we made it. Here's your T-shirt. Vote for Don Jr. in 2024. Oh, yeah. So he wouldn't do the debate, and then Biden got a town hall on ABC, and then Trump got a town hall at the same time on NBC, and then Trump started immediately bashing NBC because he can't look like him and the media are on the same side, which should tell you something about how much they really mean it when they attack the media. They don't. They like the media. They want to be on the media. But it's like, it's their best. So now nobody trusts the media. That's their best bad guy. Because they've said it so often that nobody trusts the media. They watch Fox News, which, by the way, is media. Media. And what was I talking about? Oh, right. And so then they had the thing, and on Trump is like crazy on his, and Biden is, Biden-y on his. And whatever you think of Biden, people are liking Biden.
There's another thing about this that made me mad about NBC giving him a show, because you don't know what it's going to, well, I mean, you do know what his show is going to be. We know what he says. We know what he does. Now, I understand the reporter did a real good job. Everybody's saying she really held him to it, held him accountable. So good for her. I'm glad to hear that. But it's still a Trump show.
Still a Trump show.
His base going to love no matter what it is it does. And then we get caught up in the whole story of a Trump debate, a town hall versus a Biden town hall. And then all the news today on CNN is, Biden had 1 million more viewers than Trump's show and blah, blah. That I don't give a damn who watched who. People are dying left and right, and we're talking about television ratings because of this damn idiot. I don't give a damn who got more ratings. I give a damn about who gets more damn votes.
Every day we find out more stuff that he did wrong. There's this big article come out about the CDC and about how they were putting their finger on these poor dumb scientists, these poor dumb brilliant scientists. They don't know how to act. They don't know how to do this. They're like the C-SPAN guy. So I don't know whether I should feel sorry for them or want them to all get fired.
Well, they're sending emails back and forth to each other. Some of them saying, well, I guess because we did what old Jared Kushner asked us to do, that thousands of people died. I understand. They're not used to people like Jared Kushner coming to the meetings and sitting down and saying, no, you don't need to put that in there about church. No, no, no. If you tell people that if you sing in a choir, you can get the whole damn church sick, no, no, no. Take that out. Well, the people, they should probably know that if they plan on, nope.
I say just replace everybody in the CDC, but who do you replace them with?
Who you go? That's my first thought is go in. I'm sorry, I understand it was confusion. You didn't know what to do, didn't know what to say. Who do you go to? That's the boss. I have to do what he said. Who am I supposed to tell other than the media? They're sneaking it out. But again, they're the enemy, so nobody gives a shit about that. There are more leaks from this damn administration than there ever been in history. So I understand you didn't know what to do, but maybe taking that out of warnings and endangering Americans, maybe that shouldn't have been what you did. But I don't know. Like you said, we fire them all. Who else is going to do that job?
Is there a CDC's worth of people who could work at the CDC who ain't already working at the CDC? It just seems like if you're qualified and want to work at the CDC, you're already there. I don't know.
And I also understand, people, well, you need to, which I guess I was implying by saying that, which I didn't necessarily mean. I'm trying to figure this out like everybody else, just like you, CDC. You could make a stand and say, I'm not going to say this, and I resign, and on and on. But if you do that, and you're the brightest mind at the CDC, who takes over for you? Jared Kushner? Probably. Or one of his buddies. So you can't do that. I understand Fauci mad as hell. Trump using what he said out of context. Well, why don't you fire? Hell no, I ain't going to. I'm the only sane person speaking to the American people somewhat affiliated with this administration. And half the time they won't let him go talk to who he's supposed to or he wants to.
And what do you do when you leave? You go to the media? I mean, that ain't working either. John Kelly's been telling people how bad Trump sucks since he left. I mean, he ain't coming out and giving a big interview. He ain't said it to. Has he? Has he just come out?
No, you just hearing. He don't deny stuff. That's what he does. That's his game.
Well, the most flawed person is what the
most flawed person he ever met in his life. Well, guess what? That he ever met. I ain't ever met the man. I've been about 5 feet from the man. That was enough. That's all I needed. I can tell he's plenty flawed.
So quitting and talking don't do nothing. I mean, nothing does nothing. I don't know how we got here. Nothing does nothing. He ain't going to lose that 30% of people who like him. He can't. No matter what he does, it does seem a little bit like people are tired. Seems like the pandemic got through to people how bad he was at the job. Some of the stuff he was doing before the pandemic, people still seem okay with it. We're going to have to turn inward on ourselves. Everybody in this country.
And you saying nothing matters, nothing cares about nothing. Nothing they're trying to do seems to make a damn either. All these things, the Ukraine, Hunter Biden thing, that don't seem to be going nowhere outside of that 30%. Bill Barr, I hate lock him up. I think they were screaming it today in Florida. Lock old Biden up, him and Obama. Bill Barr, that fizzle went nowhere. Nothing happened. Where is Bill Barr, by the way? Anybody seen him?
Did he accidentally lock himself up? Like he was testing the keys out in the cell? Like, somebody's got to let me out of here. I'm not going to. I've been down here for 2 weeks. Plus, I have coronavirus. I'm not healthy. Somebody needs to let me out of here.
And he's getting attacked by Trump all the time now. If I win again, he ain't gonna be the AD all this.
That's like the CDC. Who's worse than him?
Yeah.
I mean, he's one of his sons? He just puts his son in there?
Sure, why not? I mean, that's what we're looking at. If he actually got reelected, Ivanka's going to be in charge of the CDC, and Eric will be the AG. They don't have the. Who cares? I'm going to vote them in. GOP, if they take the Senate back, guess what? They're going to vote them in.
Eric Trump be like, I'm prosecuting as my first order of being made Attorney General by Daddy. I am prosecuting Hunter Biden for corruption.
Bill Barr, was it worth it wherever you are, locked up or free or what? Was it worth it? You knew he was going to turn at you. He always does. Every single, other than his children, which I'm sure he turns on them, but not on TV. But everybody that permanently tarnishes their reputation, nothing left good. If you did something good in your life, guess what? No one's going to remember it because you helped this piece of you-know-what. Bill Barr, your reputation's ruined forever. You're going to be in court the rest of your damn life because you did this. Was it worth it? Same with Cabler Elf. Was it worth it? You'll never win an election again. You're going to have to live down there. Sessions, who I'm trying to say, Sessions.
Some of these people, they run their last race, right? All these people, a lot of these.
Oh, they're done. Yeah, they're done.
Oh.
They made sure of it. Yeah. You could have retired. You could have had get on your boat. Well, not because of coronavirus, but other stuff, Bill Barr, you can't do it. But now, rest of your life going to be showing up in courtrooms. You can write a book, said how crazy it'd be like Bolton or whatever. All of them going to write a book saying how crazy Trump was. All that does is make people mad because you sit there and helped him out the whole damn time. Sass.
I used to think I'd want to read all them. But now I'm at the point where it's kind of like I felt this week about the news. It's like, I know. Well, listen to this. He did that. Well, I mean, I didn't know that exactly, but I kind of had an idea.
All of this stuff is coming out. It like, well, yeah. I mean, it don't make me any less angry when I find out what they did in the CDC.
Or when we found out they tipped off all the rich people at the Hoover Institute, financial elites were like,
yeah.
Honey, can you have the girl go get us some damn toilet paper? Sounds like we're going to need some. Have her get all of it. No, just all of it. That's good. Okay. Text her. I don't like talking to her.
Pitiful. Why that don't make everybody blood boil? They're sitting there telling you everything's fine. They're telling their rich buddies, oh, buy, sell, whatever you got to do, because tell you what, we in for a mess.
People are like, yeah, where'd all the toilet paper go? It's weird that the toilet. Check the Hoover Institute. I bet they got a basement full of toilet paper with every Target on the East Coast. I just bring it over here. Have your girl put it in the SUV and just bring it down to the basement. We're never going to need it. It's just cool to look at it. Like we have so much of it. Sometimes I just build like a toilet paper wall. And I come busting out of it like I'm the Hulk. If you're rich, it's what you do. I mean, and poor. Sometimes I do that at Kroger. Back in the old days when I'd go into Kroger.
I know, embarrass me.
Jackie, look, I'm a Hulk.
No. Well, when you was little, you said Kool-Aid Man as much as you said the Hulk. Either one of them bust through
either one.
Toilet paper wall.
I mean, if I was a wall, I don't know who I'd like to see coming less, Hulk or Kool-Aid Man. Because you know you're going to get it either way.
Oh, you coming down, yeah.
I guess maybe Kool-Aid Man, because maybe you get a little drink, something spill out of him, you get to drink it. I wonder what that tastes like.
Huh? church singing and praising, but something happened that was really hair-raising. Then Dracula walked right through the door. It'd been bad if just Drac come, but it wasn't just him. It was a whole bunch of them. Frankenstein, the Wolfman, and many more. We hit the deck to play and cower when Wolfman said, I feel the power of Jesus in my heart. Then the mummy showed up and gave us a start. But when he sang How Great Thou Art, we realized that these monsters love Jesus too. Dracula turned into a bat and said, Jesus died for my sins. We baptized a creature from the Black Lagoon and he wanted to get dunked again. We were scared of them at first, but they were well behaved the day all the monsters came to church and got saved. Blob sit down, took up 3 whole pews, and Frankenstein was a little confused, but the Lord judges souls, he don't judge smarts. Invisible Man rededicated his life. Chucky joined the church, and so did his wife, and Freddy Krueger and Jason accepted Jesus in their hearts. They took the Lord's Supper, and it all went fine, till Dracula said, I don't drink wine, and I told him, we're Baptists, so neither do we. It's usually grape juice, Kroger private selection, but the song leader's got a slight kidney infection, so he drank cran grape and sang A Closer Walk with Thee. Michael Myers said through Jesus we are all reborn. Leatherface, Pinhead, Norman Bates, Cujo and Children of the Corn. Heaven will be a little scarier when the monsters are dead in their graves. The day all the monsters came to church and got saved. The day all the monsters came to church and got saved.